In the words of the Senate president, it's not looking pretty. He says the reality is the impact of what's happening in Washington is worse than the state leaders expected. He says the state may need to find anywhere from several hundred million to $1.5 billion in additional cuts on top of the $2 billion proposed by the governor.
We know that Medicaid has been a driver of some of our challenges in the state. Additional cuts to Medicaid or additional cost shifts will have an absolutely devastating impact on the state of Maryland.
Senate President Bill Ferguson is responding to a briefing he got Friday from Maryland U.S. Democrat Senator Chris Van Hollen. Van Hollen says the GOP in the House and Senate is working on legislation to give a tax break to the wealthy. We reached out to Republican Congressman Andy Harris for comment and have not yet gotten a response.
When they do their tax cut for the wealthy bill, I do expect that they will include cuts to Medicaid.
Currently, there's a 50-50 split between the states and the feds on the cost. How that could change is not yet known. But the Senate president believes even a slight shift coupled with slashing federal workforce may put the state hundreds of millions of dollars in the hole.
We'll likely have to find an additional several $100 million of additional cuts and savings within state government.
The president wants to downsize the federal workforce, which would impact tax revenue for Maryland. Ferguson says each civil servant position that gets eliminated would lead to 3 to 5 private sector jobs that depend on federal grants and contracts. Shutting down the USAID has already resulted in furloughs of hundreds of workers who live in Maryland.
Hey, how are you, sir?
We talked with the governor before information leaked regarding the GOP tax proposal. He acknowledged Maryland is too dependent on the federal government and is taking steps to wean off the reliance.
What we're doing is we're actually investing in industries that have a chance to grow outside of a dependence on the federal government. There's 3 real lighthouse industries that we are going to make big bets on, and that is going to be life sciences, IT, and aerospace and defense.
The Senate president says lawmakers may have to take a look at changing the state's eligibility requirements to qualify for Medicaid. In short, the Senate president says lawmakers are going to have a very sobering conversation about what the budget looks like in the next 30 days and says a special session may be needed depending on what happens in Washington after lawmakers adjourn. Reporting live from the newsroom, David Collins, WBAL TV 11 News.